welcome to the slowest tutorial I've ever made, because I intended for this one to be for someone even without beading experience they can do. So I'll just run you through the things you need. You're going to need round beads, 5mm, that's what I use, and then this it's sugar beads, and the thread I'm using a 0.6 because of the size of the beads we're using. You're going to need a scissors and a cutter. Okay, so I'm just going to run you through the things that you need, and then you just watch as I keep quiet, because well, I don't know what to say. So you're going to cut your thread as long as you can handle. This is what we're trying to do, right? This is our target. So I've already made this. Let's do one together. Since this is supposed to be for people without even beading experience, this is what we're starting with. This is called the 4-bead flower. Okay, so the 4-bead flower, you're going to put 3 beads on your thread like that, and then you're going to pick one like this, and then use the thread to crisscross like this, right? This is the 4-bead flower, and this is the pattern we're going to be using throughout the making of this bag. About 80% of bead bags are made with this pattern, so try to master it very well. A 4-bead flower pattern. So I could make a tutorial on patterns, but yeah, for now let's just watch this. Okay, so I just intend for you to watch because I feel like explaining will be distracting. So well, yes. Last I forget to mention, always pull your thread very hard, especially when you're making a bag. This helps make your bag very firm. Besides the size of the thread you're using, another way to get your bag very firm is to pull your thread very hard. Careful though, these threads are very sharp. Sometimes they cut your skin. So yeah, just putting that out there. So yes, like I mentioned, I'm using a 0.6 because my beads are 5mm, and then I'll be passing through one particular bead a couple of times. So if the thread is too big, it wouldn't fit. Okay, so that's why I'm using a 6.5. But mostly when it comes to bags, I like to use a 7. But that's the first time I'm using a 5mm to make a bag tutorial, so you should know that you need a lesser size thread. So there is a different pattern to making this particular bag, but you guys know me, I like the easy stuff, and my bags are always about joining sides, right? So yeah, I chose the easier one and decided to show that. So this is actually a bag I saw on Pinterest actually, and then I made one and then advertised it and then got a couple of orders for it, so I thought, why not make a tutorial? So yes, this is a Pinterest inspired bag, and I'm going to be making a lot of those tutorials these days. So if that is something you would like, stay tuned. Just stay tuned and remember to subscribe, click on the like button, and leave a comment if you can. Yeah. So okay, I said I wasn't going to be talking, but then I'm doing so much talking right now. Now this size I am making, it's a bigger size because my customer wanted a big one, so I'm making 14 chains of the 4 bead flower, right? 14 of it. But if you want it cute and nice like the ones on Pinterest, in that case you have to make a chain of 10. That way it's going to be cute and nice like what we see on Pinterest. But this particular customer wanted it big, so yeah, hence the chain of 14. I hope I haven't spoken too much to the point where I'm distracting you. Okay, so yeah, this is how we turn it. Remember, we need this to be a square, so put 2 beads in one thread like this, right? And then you use just one and then put both threads in the opposite sides of the holes on the, yep, like that. And then you pull. Now you see your threads are facing a different direction now. Instead of going upwards like that, now it's facing the other way. So you're going to continue again with your 4 bead flower. So 1 bead in this thread, 1 bead in this thread, and then another bead to crisscross. You're just going to continue that pattern again until you get to the 14th 4 bead flower again, and then you want to turn. So if you didn't get it this time, just stay tuned and check for the next one how to turn it. And of course you can always go back and check it. See, so now our beads are going the opposite direction of where they were going before. I don't know why whenever I end up recording a tutorial I always have a cold, so doing the voiceover becomes an issue. Okay, so remember to pull your thread very hard to make your work firm. Now look at how it's looking. It's not straight, right? It's not looking straight, but you don't have to worry about that if your work isn't looking straight at all. It mustn't look straight, okay? See, even mine is not looking straight, but when we're done you see how firm it's going to be. So if it's not looking straight, no problem, just make sure you pull your thread firm enough so that it's not loose, that's all. So yes, very hard. Now see what it looks like. See? Good. Now we have 3. Now this is the last one you need to pay attention. So with the last one, you don't get to the 14th bead. Sorry. Yes, you don't get to the 14th bead flower. You do all the way to the 12th bead flower, and then you join it to the other side. So please pay attention a bit here. We're working on right now to this particular one. So now that we have 12, we're just going to put 1 in each thread like this, and instead of using 1 to crisscross, you see this one. Now see this particular bead on the side like this, that is what you use for your crisscrossing. So you put both threads at the opposite sides of the bead like this, there, and then it's joined. But you have to pass your thread through a couple of beads like I am doing to make sure it is very firm. Okay. So just pass your thread through a couple of beads, see, and it's very firm. Now we have our square. This is our first square, and then you need 2 of it. Sorry, you need 2 of this particular square actually to get what I had in mind. So I already did one down. You can go ahead and do the other like this. Like I said, I like the easy way out, so we're just going to join these 2 together. So cut your thread, remember, as long as you can handle. If it's too long, it's going to be tangling up, and if it's too short, you have to keep joining and joining and joining, which will make your work very neat. So cut it as long as you can handle. So now you just pick one bead and then put it through. It doesn't matter which side of the thread you put it through, just put it through. Now these are to put one side of the thread through one, and then put the other side through the other one like this. Okay, so once you pull out your thread, make sure they are even at the tip, and then you pull it out. Now take your time. These threads get very tangly easily, so once you pull it, this is what you get, right? So we're going to be crisscrossing with just one and joining the two squares together to make one big square. See, like this. So now I pick this thread in my right hand, put it to the square on the right hand like this, the next bead, and then pick the thread from the left hand, put it on the next bead on the left hand like this, and then I'll pick another bead and then we use that one to crisscross. And that's just about it, guys. That's just about it. So you're just going to keep repeating this process all around the square. So I'll just keep quiet and let you watch. So that's practically it, guys. We're just going to do the same thing all around. So I'll do that off camera and then we'll continue. Okay, so here I am after getting to almost the end of it. Now I'm showing this part how I'm ending it because I want you to see how I cut off my excess thread. I refuse to make knots in my bags these days because it doesn't make it neat. So instead of making knots, I just pass my threads through a couple of beads. I make sure it's not too short. That is what I do. I make sure my ending thread is not too short, and then I pass it through a couple of beads far away from where it ended, and then I cut off the excess. That way I have not made a knot and nothing is making my work inflexible, and it looks neat. So this is how it's ended, like this. That is the top part at least. So I'm just going to pass the thread, as you can see, through a couple of beads, of course pulling very hard to make sure it's not loose, and then after that I'll just cut off the excess. So this is why I'm using a 0.6. You see it, even as of now it's already getting too hard to pass the thread through the beads because they are almost full. because I've passed through it with the thread a couple of times already. You're just going over it, so the hole is almost full. Okay, so this is what I use my cutter for. I press down on where the thread ended and cut, therefore the cutting part doesn't even show. See, I press the thread down. Now you don't necessarily need a cutter, you can use a blade or anything sharp that you have. So just press down like that and then cut. That way it is not showing that, like the tip of the thread is not even showing. Okay. Now I'll pass this one through a couple of threads and then we'll cut that one too. That is done. Let's start with the inside. So as we have just sealed the outside together, that is the same way we're going to seal the inside together. So cut your thread once again as long as you can handle, put in one bead and then start with your joining and crisscross. Since the outside is already closed, it's becoming difficult to actually show the inside, but I'm practically just doing the same thing I did outside part of it. Yes, just putting in single beads to join the two squares together. That is what I'm doing on the inside. Same thing I did on the outside. Okay, so you just repeat the same thing and then seal it up. That's what I'm doing. And of course we're done. So I'm just going to pass my thread through a couple of beads away from where it ended, so I can cut off the excess thread. Okay, remember, pass it through a couple of the beads, just far away, as far as you can get away from where the work ended, and cut off the excess thread. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Okay, and that's a task square. I think that, yes, this is the hardest part of this bag. To a beginner, that's for sure. This is the hardest part of it. So once you get this out of the way, any other thing is easy. So of course, now I've cut off my excess thread, and this is it. Now I made 5 of these, 4, 5, but that is for the short one though. It's later on I realized 5 wasn't enough, so I had to do 1 to add. So if you're going to make it like a cute small one with the 5 chains, you need just 5. But if not, if it's big, you will need more than that. So you're going to pick 1 actually, and that is going to be your base. So you're going to seal that. Okay, you need 1 to be the base, like the under. You can't have the under of a bag like hollow, right? So you have to seal it. So this is what we're doing at the joints. You can start from any of these joints. Okay, so because the holes are too small, it can move from one bead to another that you don't need the thread to be in. So that way you use something to pull it out. So that is what I use the cutter to do right now. Okay, so I've attached my thread to it. Okay, so 1 bead and then another to crisscross like this. So it's still the 4 bead flower pattern we're still going to use. No change in pattern actually. See, it's just the same. So this one goes through the closest bead up, which is this one. So like this. And then I'm going to pick the other one, and then put 1 bead in that one too as well, and then pick 1 to crisscross like this. So like you are matting a bag, that is what we're doing, just to seal it. So I'm going to do that all the way up. when you get to this side, you're going to be turning it like you were doing when we were beginning the chain. So instead of the first one alone, you pass it through this one and then pass it through the side bead too, just so you can turn your work. See, pass it through that one too, like this, so your work is turned. Now you have 3 beads, so you just need only one to crisscross. Instead of 2, you need only one now. So you pick one and then you crisscross with it like this. And that is it. So we're just going to be repeating the same thing until it's full. So we are almost halfway done, and then my thread is shorter. Now I want to show you how I end my thread in the middle of work, like when I'm working and it's short and I need to join. So instead of making a knot like this, no, I'll just, as usual, I'll pass it through a couple of beads all the way far away from where the work ended, and then I'll cut off the excess thread. Now we are having neat, clean work. The threads won't even be showing, okay? So this is me just passing the the thread through a couple of beads, that's all. Now cutting off the excess thread. Now I've gotten it far away from where it ended as I want. I'll cut off the excess thread. See, let's cut off the excess thread. Okay, so now how to join a new thread to your work. With a 4-bead flower pattern, joining a thread to it is very easy. Like, it's the easiest thing you can do, joining a thread whilst you're already working and it's finished. So this is just me. There, it's joined. There. And then we'll just continue normally like we were doing before. So if you've watched this far, kindly remember to subscribe and click on the like button. Thank you.